Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon, everybody, and hopefully you guys are enjoying your day. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Man, I got a short one for you guys. I got a really short one for you guys. But this is some new developing information that just popped off about an hour ago, and I felt like, hey, I should jump on here real quick and chop it up with the fam, talk about this situation, because this is very interesting to me, okay? And I didn't really have time to do a pop-up video surrounding this, but I figured, why the hell not, and just jump on live real quick and have a conversation with my fam. Okay, so good afternoon to all y'all who are coming in. I know some of y'all are in the middle of picking up your kids or getting ready to go pick up your kids, or you're still wrapping up your work day and all that stuff on this Wednesday afternoon. But I appreciate all y'all who are even having the time to jump in. I'm here for a short time, but an informative time. And this all revolves around Bob Saget. Y'all thought I was crazy. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all thought I was crazy. And the craziness is not me. Even more stuff is coming out and it's random. It's random as hell. We got to jump into it. But before we get into all of this, please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Send those likes all the way up. Do not forget to crush that subscribe button. Like I said before, and I'll say it again right now. Hit it so hard that it shakes the very foundation of your private domicile or your car if you're driving or something like that. Hit that subscribe button. Do not forget to do that. Okay, so we got to jump into this story, y'all. Like I said, I'm only on for a short amount of time, but we got to talk about this particular story. Now there are now theories that are coming out from the popo, from the police. And here's the thing. This doesn't work for me. It ain't working for me. But now the cops are now saying that they have a theory that Bob Saget may have hit the back of his head by hitting his head on the headboard of the hotel, in the hotel room that he was staying in. Hence the reason why he was so easily able to curl up into a ball or lay down and go to sleep, to only to pass away, right? He did not wake up the next morning. They found him in that bed, perished. Right? So we got some articles we got to look into, because like I said, this is just we got an article to look at. We got one. And the thing is that we have cast members now that are stepping forward, okay? Old cast members of Full House and all that are finally sitting here, stepping up and saying, yo, we need answers, right? But of course, we still have some curveballs, which is the story that I broke last night, about how the family, the widow, and the three daughters of Bob Saget are actually trying to block information from coming out to tell everybody, to expose the truth, to tell everybody how this man passed away. It's so strange. But now you got other people outside of the family, Full House co-stars, coming out and saying, hey, guys, no, this ain't working. This math ain't mathing for me. We need to know what is really going down here. So let's jump into this article, right? Now, I said it's in the title above or down below. It says it right there. To me, this is strange. Cops are now saying that Bob Saget hit his head on the hotel headboard. But interesting, Full House co-star Candace Bure says there are still a lot of questions after doctors said his fatal skull fractures were consistent with being hit with a baseball bat or falling downstairs. So let's just talk about this really quick. Just the title alone. The cops are going, well, no, he hit his head on the headboard. Yeah, that's the logical explanation. Remember, we talked about this, and I'll say it again. I'm sorry for repeating myself a million times on every single stream that we've done covering this story, but we got to remember, and it says it in that article, in the title of that article, doctors and experts who have seen the autopsy report were there to look at the injury that Bob Saget obtained. They basically said there is no way that this was just a small ding in the back of his head. This is almost like he got hit with a baseball bat. Now, just so you know, look at a headboard. Maybe I need to pull one up here. But look at a headboard in a hotel room, right? And think about the injury that he received on the back of his head. How on God's green earth would this man be able to obtain that kind of injury from the headboard from the bed that he was sleeping in? Why would 5-0 go out of their way to sit there and go, oh, yeah, no. Yeah, what had happened was he tripped and he fell and he hit his head on a headboard. How does that work? This is the back of his head, y'all. Back of his head. How does that happen? How? You could sit there and say maybe he was knocking boots. Maybe he was having a very rigorous yoga session between the sheets. You know what I'm saying? He was knocking boots so hard that he hit his head. That still doesn't work. They said it's like a baseball bat in the back of the head. It's as if he fell from 20 to 30 feet above, landing only on his head. How does that happen? By hitting your head on a headboard. Doesn't make any sense. So let's get into this article right quick. Right quick. We're only going to go through the bullets because, unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of time. I wanted to jump on and talk about this because I saw this and I was like, what? This doesn't work for me, y'all. Police are now saying that Bob Saget most likely died from hitting his head on the headboard. To me, this sounds like lazy investigative work. This is lazy police work. Oh, he must have just done that. That's what he did. That's it. That solves everything. He hit his head on a headboard, hence the reason why he is no longer with us anymore. He hit his head so hard on the headboard that it killed him. So that makes sense. That's why. That's weird to me. Okay? Candace Bure, she was, obviously on Full House. And I think there's the other show, Fuller House, that she's on as well, which Bob Saget has gone in and made guest star appearances on and all that. That show's on Netflix. She said, developments in the late actor's death raise a lot of questions. She spoke on Fox and Friends the day Saget's family was granted a restraining order to stop the release of photos from the scene of his death. Now, I understand this part. I understand a part of, hey, they don't want to release photos, right? Because it's graphic images of their loved one, of their father or of their husband. I understand that piece, that they don't want that kind of stuff out here. But apparently there is more than just photos that covers his death. And they're holding everything back. What if those pieces of information bring whoever may have done this to justice? But by burying this only stirs the pot of suspicion and speculations and rumors and unwanted theories. Okay? But by shutting him off, shutting everybody off from getting the information, makes them look like they're suspects too. It's bad, y'all. On Tuesday, obviously on Tuesday they obviously blocked the release yesterday. I reported that yesterday. Go check it out if you get a chance. All right, but they blocked the release of records in the investigation of his sudden death. and it was sudden. Saget, 65, was found in a hotel room in Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Orlando after a stand-up show on January 9th. He was doing great. He was happy. He said, man, I can't believe that I did a whole hour and a half show and it felt like I was there for 5 minutes. It was a great show. It felt good to be back on the stage again, doing what I love, so on and so forth. All right. On February 9th, the family said he died of head trauma, adding he accidentally hit the back of his head on something, thought nothing of it, and went to sleep. We've heard this story a million times. Yet on the 11th of February, the chief medical examiner of Orange and Osceola counties in Florida reported that Saget suffered severe skull fractures. Medical experts said the report showed far more significant injuries than a bump to the head, with injuries consistent with being hit by a baseball bat. Now you got 5-0 out here in these streets, okay, saying, oh, he must have just hit himself in the head accidentally by the headboard of the bed. How does that math out to you? How does that math out to you? Because look at this. This is what the headboard looks like inside the hotel room that he allegedly, I guess, was in. One of them. I'm sure this is just a display, but think about it. Look at that headboard. He had to have been like doing wrestling moves on the top of his mattress, jumping up in the air and falling backwards type of thing. How does one successfully hit themselves in the back of the head so hard that it causes internal bleeding, and it cracks the back of you literally fracture your skull. Then on top of that, you fracture your actual eye sockets. That's how hard that trauma was to the head. So now 5-0, which I think is lazy as right here. This is lazy as hell. But they're sitting here saying, oh no, it was the headboard. Had to have been the headboard. See, that's what makes sense. It's the headboard, y'all. It's the headboard. No, this does not work for me. Personally, this does not work for me. Now, I think that this is Candace here. All right. And one of the Olsen twins. All right. Let me see. I think maybe the video's here. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let's check out this video. See what she got to say.
So now actress Candace Cameron Bure is honoring the legacy of her beloved friend and television dad, Bob Saget. And she joins us now. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing? We're so sorry for your loss. You know, we all grew up with him. He was our TV dad too, but you knew him personally, and you said he was the glue that kept Full House together. How are you doing?
He really was. I'm doing okay. It's been a little over a month, and you know, there's days that are great and days that it just hits you. But even hearing that clip from Full House, it just brings back so many memories, and that's when it grabs me. It's a little hard to hear those clips.
I'm sure he gave such good advice on the show, and we all took his advice too.
Mm-hmm.
The family, I know, is suing because they want everything to be private. I won't get into that, but I wanted to know, how's the family doing? Have you talked to his wife?
I have. I keep in close contact with Kelly, and you know, it's been difficult these past couple of weeks because of more things that have come out, and there's a lot of questions, and I'm trying honestly not to think about it, and in the sense that I want to remember Bob and what a kind and loving and amazing person that he was, and let it be that.
Yeah, I know you and your brother are outspoken Christians, which is wonderful. And you've created this sweatshirt that says, love like Jesus, hug like Bob. Tell us how we can get this, where the money goes, and why you decided to do this.
Yeah. I did it really for selfish reasons because I love Jesus. He's the best example of humanity and sacrifice. And then there's nobody that hugs like Bob. And I will always remember that as a huge part of his legacy. So you can go to huglikebob.com, or you can go to my Instagram page and you'll see that sweatshirt. And 100% of the proceeds go to the Scleroderma Research Foundation. And that is because Bob raised millions of dollars over the years for scleroderma because his sister Gay died of the disease.
Yeah, I remember that story. What was he like on set? Because I was reading a little bit about his life, and people have said he wasn't afraid to show his emotions. He wasn't afraid to cry. Mm-hmm. He was such a loving person.
Yes, he was all those things. He always carried his emotions right at the surface in the best of ways. He was so emotionally available, and he just always let you know that he loved you. Every text, every phone call, every moment in person, he would give you the biggest hug, and he always let you know how much he cared about you. And that is such an incredibly powerful gift that he gave. And we are all reminded of that, all of us that knew Bob well and received that love and those hugs from him. And that's what I want to carry on. I want to hug like Bob.
Sweet. And you have been working on a new project, and we get to watch it coming up. Tell us about this.
Yes, I have a new Aurora Teagarden mystery movie that is premiering, because this is the origin story of how Aurora Teagarden became and crime solved. Aurora is a teenager, no one other than my daughter, Natasha, which is pretty fun.
How many children do you have?
3 kids. Natasha and...
I figured that she would say something a little bit more than what they're showing here. But let me get here real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Where? Let's see. Obviously, we already know that people are saying, obviously a lot of people in Full House and everybody who worked with him and all that are feeling some type of way. Obviously, they're hurting, they're sad. I mean, you know, he touched a lot of lives. I mean, it's Bob Saget that we're talking about here. But at the same time, there are also a lot of things that have come out talking about other things, talking about the other side of Bob Saget. And I think, and I feel that a lot of us know a lot of these truths about how Saget off camera, you know, the comedian Bob Saget was completely different from Danny Tanner, the character that he played on Full House, right? There's a lot of stories and a lot of things that people know about how he was. He lived a fast lifestyle. And from what I've heard, you know, allegedly he liked to party like a rock star. There's nothing wrong with that, but you know, maybe by being around certain types of people, you end up being around the wrong type of people. Maybe that's the possibility. I don't know. But you know, of course, they've been talking about asking, Cameron, what Candace Cameron, what she thinks, Candace Cameron Bure, what she thinks about this whole thing. Of course, we already heard, she's like, I honestly am not trying to think about it too much. I just want to remember him and what kind of loving and amazing person he was, and let it be that. And I commend her for doing that, right? I do get it. Not every day do you want to sit there and constantly have something like that running in the back of your mind all the live long day. But one thing that is so strange to me, still to me, is this part right here. And I said it last night and I'll say it again, because obviously co-stars are looking at this and going, yes, this is a strange, like it's raising some questions. It's raising some serious questions. What happened to Bob Saget, the last moments leading to his death? Why did it happen the way it did? These are all strange things. And I get it. I'm with that 110%. But then the part that is very strange is this part right here. No, not this part. Let me pull it up really, really quick. And this is the part that I find extremely strange. And we talked about it last night, but I'm going to pull it up one last time for all y'all in the nosebleed seats. It's right here. Yesterday, Saget's wife, Kelly Rizzo, and his 3 daughters filed a lawsuit against the medical examiner's office and the Orange County Sheriff, seeking injunctive relief to prevent the release of any records, including photographs, video, and audio recordings, and statutorily protected autopsy information related to his death. So when you see somebody doing that, when you're doing full court press, man on man, full court press, trying to stop people from finding out any more information revolving around what happened to Bob Saget. What about Bob, right? What about Bob? What happened to him? And you got a family cutting them off. Now, I get it. People don't want to relive certain moments. They don't want to relive terrible things. They're trying to block things off because they don't want viral photos or photos of his, or maybe there's video out there or audio recordings that maybe tarnish his reputation out here that go viral. And then next thing you know, the only thing that they do is remember, right? That's all they do is remember what he did bad, rather than the good he left behind, rather than the good messages and the good legacy that he left behind. Next thing you know, that's all they think of. Oh, he did that such and such, which led to his death. That's why he died. So on and so forth. I'm just saying. I mean, this is all just theory, of course. This is not facts, but I can only imagine that maybe they just don't want his reputation to be destroyed. But now you got police officers, you got cops that were, I'm sure, they're in the area finding his body, doing the research, doing their investigative work, and they are now sitting here saying that they think that he hit his head on the headboard in the hotel room that he was staying in. Now, I'm going to ask you guys this. Does that work for you or not? Does it work for you or not? Does that make you go and rest your head ever so gently on your pillow tonight when it comes to this story? To me, this looks like lazy investigative work. This also makes me think of the situation that happened with Lauren Smith Fields, the young woman in Connecticut that was on a Bumble date with an older male. He actually was only about 10 years older than her, but nonetheless, he was older than her. He woke up next to her the next morning and she was dead, found her dead. Police went in there, picked up stuff, didn't pick up the essential stuff, and treated this woman's family like trash. They didn't find out that they died until they did their own work trying to find out if their daughter had died, and going and checking on her themselves, only to find out that because they had to reach out to people, that's how they found out that their daughter had died. But the police there too just went ahead and said, "Meh, looks like an OD to me," and they moved on. But this particular story is strange to me too. You look at something like this and instantly they go, yeah, he just hit the back of his head on a headboard. No problem. That's how it happened. How does that happen though? How does a headboard end up in the back of somebody's head? How does that work? Unless the dude ran and jumped and turned and, see what I'm saying? Unless he was body slammed on the, thrown against the wall or something like that of where the headboard is. How does that work? And yet that is their theory. That's the best that they can do. I'm sorry. This one does not work for me. Headboard ain't working for me. Let me show you guys the headboard one last time before I wrap this bad boy up. One last time. And you tell me Could somebody physically be able to do that? Remember, he got hit in the back of his head. Look at this. Would you be able to successfully hit the back of your head like where this whole thing is set up? Think about it. Front of your head, sure. Your nose, like your face, sure. I could see that. The back of your head, though? The back of your head. And you did, and it was self-inflicted? Tell me how does that happen? Unless he was jumping on the bed, up and down, having a grand old time like a 6-year-old kid, jumped into the bed, flew back, you know what I mean? Tried to flop himself in the bed and then hit himself accidentally on the headboard. I could see something like that happening. But he would have to get some serious height in that bounce to come crashing down on the headboard that hard, then to roll himself into bed and go to sleep, only to find out that he dies the next day, hours later. Like I said, does not work like that to me. And if that's the reason, hey, show me where the blood is. Where the blood be at, though? Is there blood on the headboard? Did they go and do their due diligence and look at the headboard? Or are they just trying to do this to save face and just say, oh, yeah, he just hit his head. That's what happened. That's what went down. Just saying, y'all, that this is a lame excuse for shoddy and lazy investigative work. That's the way I see it. It's a damn shame, y'all, because you got a family out here that really wants to know what happened to their father, what happened to their husband. And we may never know. We may never know what went down. But I will say this. You got a lot of people out here that are trying to find out what happened. And they're all being cut off from being able to know the truth. Why, you may ask? It's because you also have the family blocking off information from the public that could bring justice for their family. This lawsuit that they put out, this restraining order, this full court press that they are applying to the records so that the public could never know, is not helping them. It's hindering them. And that is sad as hell. Anyway, guys, that's the show, guys. Thank you, guys. I know it's short, but I had to do a short one. I saw this and I was just like, man, this drives me nuts. Man, this pisses me off because this is lazy police work. Lazy police work. If he really did hit his head on the headboard, show me the Carfax. Show me the facts, baby. Let me see it. Put it in the paperwork and put it out there for the rest of the world to see. This still reads foul play to me. And I will still keep thinking that until they show me otherwise. Anyway, guys, do not forget to hit that like button down below. Send those likes all the way up. Please send it past 200 likes if you can. That would really mean a lot. Shoot, 300 likes. That would really mean a lot as well, okay? And do not forget to crush that subscribe button. We are marching our way towards 100,000 subscribers. So please join the family. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll be talking soon. Trust. Man, such a shame. Headboard? How do you do that? How do you do that? By yourself, y'all. Damn. Anyway, see you guys soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.